Why, hello, Tube. Today we have the mid-year book freakout tag, originally done by Earl Grey Books, and it's that Chammy like 14 years ago, and then became like a YouTube staple. I'll put a link to both their channels down below. I don't think either one of them is even active anymore on the BookTube, but I'll put a link to them anyway. I've seen this tag a lot, but I don't see a lot of them tagged to the original. So it's kind of have it has its own power these days. It's so crazy that a tag can just become so prolific. But there's 14 questions. I don't have answers to all 14, but I got answers to a lot of them. So shall we get started? Number one, best book you've read so far in, this is 2026. And I mean, Lonesome Dove. It's I can't see it getting overthrown from the number one spot. It's just so gosh darn good. If you've read it, you know. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest reading it. You don't have to be a Western fan to like it. It's such a huge, all-encompassing novel with so many different characters and so many different storylines that are coming and going, and it's just so good. But it's basically about Woodrow Cole and Augustus McCrae and a bunch of other people, and they're like old Texas Rangers, and they're down in Lonesome Dove, which is basically a dust bowl of a town, a shanty town, and they get wind of basically the promised land in Montana, where if you can get cattle up there, you can just be instantly become rich, and this, that, and the other. And it's basically their trip to Montana. Of course, a bunch of stuff happens along the way, and it's one of those books that'll hit you on all the feelers. It'll make you happy. It'll make you sad. It'll piss you off, and it's so gosh darn good. So good. It's not one that's overhyped. It's perfectly hyped for what it is. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Number two, the best sequel you've read so far this year. Um, so I don't read a lot of sequels, but I've been reading these Caleb York books, and probably my favorite one of those that I've read this year is The Last Stage to Hell Junction, which I believe I read it for June on the Range, and it's fun. It's a kind of a straightforward. Um, the 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 ladies of Trinidad get kidnapped, and then Caleb York has to come in and save the day with his trusty sidekick Deputy Tully with his scattergun. It's a straightforward western, and it's a lot of fun. These books are a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out this series and you kind of like pulpy westerns, check it out. There's like 6 books in the series, so it won't take you like forever to get through them. I plan on finishing this series out this year. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I actually have an answer for this one too, which is surprising because most of the time I don't pay attention to new releases. But even though Michael Crichton's been dead for 20 years, he's still bringing out books. This is a Murder in Hollywood. I don't know a whole lot about this one yet. I do have it. It's sitting somewhere over on my my little TBR cart. But I think it's like a one of his. It's a John Lang book, so it's not going to be, more than likely not going to be sci-fi. It's probably going to be like a detective sort of a thing. I'm sure bad things happen, and some dude has to solve the puzzles. So yeah, I'm surprised. I don't typically I wouldn't have an answer for this. Number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I don't have anything for this one because I have no idea if there's anything coming up that I'm remotely even interested in. If you are an old timey to my channel, and you know something that's coming out in this second half of the year that you think I might like, comment down below, and I'll go check it out and see if it might be something I might be interested in. Number 5, the biggest disappointment, and that's going to be The Autograph Man by Zadie Smith. So I've been doing a Don DeLillo project. I've been calling the Don DeLillo Project, and to kind of be the female counterpart to the Don DeLillo Project. I thought I'd do Zadie Smith. Kind of wanted to check out some postmodern works. Kind of working my way up to eventually I'll have a Thomas Pynchon year or 2 year. I don't know how long it'll take me, because even though he didn't write that many books, the books he did write were massive. But Zadie Smith I thought would be one that would be a good counterpoint. And I read White Teeth and really enjoyed it. I thought White Teeth was really good. And then Autograph Man fell flat for me. I DNF'd it, and then DNF'd every other Zadie Smith novel after that to NW. So the Autograph Man, On Beauty, and then NW. I stopped at NW. I have a video on that coming out in July, I believe. Talking about that and my end of the Zadie Smith project. I don't like ragging on authors. I know some people like the clicks, but I don't like doing it. So I'm DNFing Zadie Smith after NW. So my biggest surprise, I've been talking about this book a lot lately, and that's El Paso by Winston Groom. He wrote Forrest Gump. I didn't know Forrest Gump was a book. I basically wanted a modern Western for June on the Range, and I stumbled upon this book, and I saw written by the dude that wrote Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. So I thought, well, let's give this a try, and I absolutely loved it. It's basically a fictional story set in the Mexican Revolution of the early 20th century. Railroad tycoon owns a bunch of property down in Mexico. Pancho Villa. Let's pronounce it semi-correct. Basically takes all of his cattle and or threatens to take all of his cattle, and the railroad tycoon and his son kind of go down to Mexico to try to salvage what they can. And it's just the reading experience was a lot like Lonesome Dove, where you have a ton of characters and the storylines are coming and going and intertwining, and it's a really good book. I highly suggest. I don't hear anybody talking about El Paso or Winston Groom, so I would I'm gonna be shouting this one from the rooftops a little bit until it picks up some steam, because I think it's absolutely great. Number 7, favorite new author, debut, or new to you? And I'm going to go with, could have gone with Winston Groom here, because that was a pleasant surprise, but I'm going with Elmore Leonard. I've been reading his complete Western short stories for my #Western Wednesday year-long reading thing, and I absolutely love his short stories. I think he's right up there with the best of them, even though he's writing, genre short stories. I think he's up there with the Borges and the Flannery O'Connors and the Eudora Welty and the other really great short story writers you think of. And because of this, how much I've loved his short story collection, I plan on 2027 is going to be heavy on the Elmore Leonards. I've been picking up his books. He was a prolific writer. I'm guessing probably 30 novels. There's a ton of them. Although unlike Michael Crichton, I don't think he's released a whole lot since he's been dead. So I could be wrong on that. Maybe he does have a bunch of humorous things cooking. But yeah, it's just so good. And I'm just looking forward to it. Most of it, there was like maybe half a dozen Western novels, and the rest of them are kind of like pulpy crime thriller stuff. So set in like Detroit and Miami, I think was his two big scenes, not pig. Newest fictional crush. I'm 43 years old. I don't have fictional crushes, so we're just gonna skip that one. Number 9, newest favorite character, and it has to go to Augustus McCrae, Gus from Lonesome Dove. I just absolutely adored this character. I don't know really what to say. He is a badass. Basically, he gets to sit around and drink and gamble all day and womanize while the other guys are working, because when the crap hits the fan, he shows up and he just takes charge and he gets things done. There's a few scenes in this book where Augustus McCrae just takes over, and they're phenomenal. Such a great character. He has his flaws. Don't get me wrong. He's a questionable good man, but the way he's written in this story, it, you root for him. Book that made you cry. I didn't cry, but again, Lonesome Dove. It hits you in all the feelers. It'll make you angry, and there's parts of it that are incredibly sad. Didn't cry. Again, I'm 43 years old. Books don't make me cry. My allergies weren't acting up in this one, but it has some very sad parts. You have to be prepared for them. I'll put it that way. Books that make you happy. I couldn't think of anything because I don't really read happy books. Every book that I read kind of is kind of dark in a way. So can't really say. I mean, I guess I could, just throw Lonesome Dove back in there yet again because it does hit you on all the feelers. There are parts of Lonesome Dove that I absolutely adored, like the pigs and Gus's stupid sign, and just there's some funny, some legitimately laugh out loud funny parts in Lonesome Dove, but it also make you angry and sad. Number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I don't really buy beautiful books. Most of the books I buy are used paperbacks and things like that. I think this question is probably for those more who are into fancy editions and limited editions and things. I just don't have anything like this that I could think of anyway that I purchased this year. I've got some books I really like my Steppenwolf and All Quiet on the Western Front that I showed off in the first part of my bookshelf tour, but I didn't buy those this year. So, yeah. Number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? There's a lot of them, but I will showcase this gentleman, Don DeLillo. Like I mentioned previously that I've been doing the Don DeLillo Project, where I've been going through Don DeLillo stuff in chronological order. As far as videos on the channel, I've gone through well, I know I have recorded for July. I'm up through White Noise. I haven't recorded White Noise yet, but I've read through White Noise, and I'm currently reading Libra. So I'm pretty far into his bibliography. I don't know if I'll get it done by the end of the year. I'm gonna try. I might have to start a lot of his stuff after, because I'm leaving Underworld to the last. That's gonna be the last book of his I read as like the capstone. After Libra, a lot of his stuff becomes a lot shorter, and he has a lot of like novella length stuff. So I might be able to kind of double up on some of those. I might still be able to bang it out by the end of the year. To be honest, I'll probably save Underworld for March of the Mammoths next year. We'll just have to see. But yeah, Don DeLillo, I am liking his stuff. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, the airborne toxic event. Like everyone knows about the airborne toxic event, and I'm actually a fan of the White Noise movie. That's on Netflix. I know a lot of people really hate it, but I think it really captures what it likes to read a Don DeLillo book. It's just kind of chaotic and kind of corny and very anxiety inducing. So, and then finally, number 14, favorite book community member. I'm not going to answer this because if I answer my favorite book community member, I feel like these sorts of questions are just the creators hoping that their name gets chosen. If you name one, then you let down, or you might sadden 500 other people that you could easily name too. So favorite book community member, not going to answer that, but you know, I watch a lot of y'all. I listen to a lot of y'all at work, so I don't comment a lot. Just because I don't comment a lot doesn't mean that I'm not watching. And so yeah, that's the mid-year uh mid-year book freakout tag. And like I said, the original was by Earl Grey Books and what was it's that Chamois, and I don't think they're active anymore, but I figured it's worth giving credit where credit is due. So let me know down below. I mean, obviously, if you're a creator, you're probably going to do it. Like everyone pretty much does this tag every year. If you are a creator and you for some reason never heard of this one, I'd love to hear your answers for it. But I'm watching all y'all that are videos that are making it. And if you don't make BookTube videos, just leave your comments down below to the answers to the prompt. So yeah, that's it for this one, peeps. Cheers. My mouse.